Welcome back to the third episode of ITTF High Performance and Development Weekly Training Lessons. Our special weapons and tactics of today is a player's last moment action. It is a more advanced skill which gives the player an advantage for the next stroke and should therefore be practiced from the start. Since table tennis consists of a high number of automated moves due to its high speed and short distances. The aim of this action is to confuse the opponent with unpredictable actions. Top players have the ability to anticipate actions on a very high level. That's why we call these strokes last moment actions, because they are used to interrupt the flow of play with actions carried out in the very last moment of the execution phase. Let's see how some top players implement these last moment actions in their matches. At the S.W.A.T 2019 World Table Tennis Championships in Budapest, the Chinese Dragon Ma Long faced European legend Vladimir Samsonov from Belarus in the round of 32. At this point, Samsonov showed off his superb ability to read the game. Due to his last moment action with his push, Vladi was able to surprise Ma Long and ended the rally with a backhand winner stroke. Let's go into details. We will look at how Vladi performed this action. The Belarusian started the rally with a classic side backspin pendulum forehand serve into Ma Long's middle. While Ma Long performed an excellent short, flat forehand push return, Samsonov got back into a ready position, enabling him to be prepared for any possible option. With this high-quality short return, Ma Long created a difficult situation for Samsonov. Many players would try to perform a short forehand push. Here is an answer to Ma Long's short return despite being late, but not Samsonov. Slightly late for his action, he stepped his right leg in front below the table at the last moment. He kept his body in a neutral position, keeping the opponent in the dark as to the placement of his ball. Then Vladi waited until the last moment to move his racket as an extension of his wrist towards the ball. As you can see, the racket was in an almost horizontal position just before hitting the ball. When hitting the ball, he inclined the racket slightly to the right side so that the top of the racket moved down. Ma Long was prepared for a short return by Samsonov and was therefore slightly late when moving backwards to perform his backhand topspin, rendering his ball too short, which Vladi used mercilessly to counterattack with his backhand swing above the table to score the point. Simply fabulous. Let's watch it again. Another great example from the S.W.A.T 2019 World Table Tennis Championships in Budapest, where Liu Shiwen faced Chen Meng in an all-Chinese final in the women's singles event. Let's go into details. Liu Shiwen performed a short side backspin serve into Chen Meng's forehand. Chen Meng returned the ball superbly, shot into the middle of Liu Shiwen, preventing Liu to attack the ball with a spin. She had two opportunities, either returning Chen Meng's short ball with a forehand flick above the table, but she was a bit too late and she couldn't perform a powerful flick, or to use a last moment action as she did to confuse the opponent. Liu Shiwen's last moment action looks quite easy and simple to attack, but when we have a closer look, we can see that similar to our previous example of Vladimir Samsonov, Liu Shiwen moved the racket horizontally towards the ball, inclining the racket slightly to the right downwards while hitting the ball, but then giving the ball a hidden upspin by moving her wrist in a last moment action, moving the racket slightly upwards. Chen Meng was prepared for a light backspin and so played her topspin accordingly, starting slightly below the ball and with a slight upward forward movement. Let's move to our animated table. The goal of today is to simulate a situation in which you perform a third ball at the very last moment on a short return of your partner. Taking the example of Samsonov, perform a short forehand pendulum serve. Let your partner perform a short return into your middle. Try to get back in a ready position and then moving into the ball lane. While moving towards the ball, try to be in a neutral position with your upper body and have your racket almost horizontal. When hitting the ball at the very last moment, try to incline your racket as a right-handed player slightly to the right, with the top of the racket downwards, moving the shoulder straight forward to lead the ball. Good luck with implementing complex last-moment actions, and see you next week for the next ITTF High Performance and Development Weekly Training Lessons.